said, well, all those things can't possibly be true, but thank God for the rumor. Thank God for the rumor. Hello, St. Paul Conservatory for the Performing Arts. My name is Ralph Remington, and it is my sincere honor to be here with you today. I want to thank Brian Goranson, school leaders, the board of directors, and faculty for inviting me to speak here with you today. I saw many of my friends in attendance, and it makes my heart feel warm. Here you are. You made it. After 4 years of study and dedication, you're ready to head out into the world. I too, as you heard, am a graduate of an arts high school. In fact, I graduated from the Philadelphia High School for the Creative and Performing Arts. As a drama major and a dance minor in 1980, that was the first graduating class of that school, and some notable alums are Leslie Odom from Hamilton, Questlove and Black Thought from Roots,
Questlove is a drummer,
and jazz musician Christian McBride, to name a few. Those were some of the best years of my life and the perfect preparation for a life in the arts. My practice started as an actor, and I went on to attend Howard University, majoring in drama with a double concentration in acting and directing. It was at Howard where I learned how to produce and direct for theater. I later took that knowledge with me to Minneapolis and founded Pillsbury House Theater. After university, I joined the U.S. Army and I lived in Frankfurt, Germany. I went on to act, direct, and produce many plays all over this country. And later I served as an elected official in the Minneapolis City Council, where I made law and policy to improve people's lives. After City Council, I was appointed as Director of Theater and Musical Theater at the National Endowment for the Arts in Washington, D.C. during the Obama administration. And now I'm Cultural Affairs Director over all arts and cultural policies in the city and county of San Francisco. In many of those cases, I was the first African American ever to achieve those accomplishments. And even while I say all of that, it's only half the story. The other half is that I grew up in a lower middle class neighborhood in West Philadelphia. West Philadelphia, born and raised.
On the playground is where I spend most of my days.
I saw poverty and despair all around me. Many of my friends had been murdered or sent to prison before I left for college at 17 years old. I was bullied terribly in elementary school. My mom looked like a white woman, and my father was a brown-skinned black man. In the hood, some classmates berated me because they thought I acted white. In white schools, they called me half-breed, salt and pepper, mongrel, and a host of other terrible names. The first time I was called a nigger was by a Philadelphia police officer when I was just 9 years old. The arts literally saved my life. I too would have been dead or in prison but for the discovery and exposure to the arts. I say all of this to you to say that everyone gets battered and bruised and beaten in this life. Your choice is, what do you do about it?
Yeah!
In my case, I was bullied because I thought differently. I was a bookworm while most others around me weren't. I spent my time thinking about what could be changed as opposed to what I had to do to conform. I used their name-calling and bullying as fuel to further my ambitious goals of leaving Philadelphia and making some kind of mark and contribution to this world in social justice and the arts. Philly taught me that the world is a cruel place, but those lessons were essential in building the calluses to protect me on the road ahead. However, more importantly, it taught me how big of a threat one becomes when one starts to think outside of their prescribed societal box. You can learn to be as technically proficient as you can. However, that will mean nothing without an informed point of view. A point of view is just trash unless it's informed by actual data, as opposed to raw emotion. Read as much as you can, experience as much as you can, travel far and wide and live in as many places as you can, because those are the experiences that will inform how you think about the world and your place in it. And even more importantly, what your ultimate purpose will be. Einstein famously said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited to all we know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there ever will be to know and understand." Reading and traveling will help to strengthen the muscle of your imaginations. As you read and travel and learn, it's also important to bring your courage with you. Just as no one in this life gets out alive, neither does anyone get out unscarred or untriggered. And that's the kind of the point. Because those are the very things that will make you stronger. That's where your soul lessons are learned. No one can teach you courage. One must muster that up from the depths of themselves. We've been through some awful, unprecedented times in the last few years. And we're still here! We had a global pandemic and a racial reckoning all at the same time. Since 2020, we aren't as naive as a country as to who we are anymore. I am a product of racial apartheid. I wasn't born free in the United States. When I was born, I legally couldn't marry whoever I wanted, or live where I wanted to live, work wherever I wanted to work, or even vote wherever I wanted and whenever I wanted to vote. And that wasn't that long ago in the scope of history. My black brothers and sisters, along with friends and allies, had to fight to make it so. And to keep it real, even today, most black people can't do those things, even though the law now says that we can. So what does that mean? It means that we must continually strive to make this country free. And in making the country free, we free ourselves and fulfill our purpose for being here. Art does that. The writer James Baldwin once said, "I think the artist is a disturber of the peace." He is produced by the people because the people need him. They may not like him, they may stone him, but they need him. His sole responsibility is to bear witness to and for the people who produced him. Then he went on to say, "I think that thought saved me on some level from the nightmare of show business, because everyone wants an artist on the wall, on the library shelf, or on the stage, but nobody wants him in the house." Garcia Lorca once wrote, "The poem, the song, the picture is only water drawn from the well of the people, and it should be given back to them in a cup of beauty so that they may drink, and in drinking understand themselves." I've never recognized a separation between art and politics. The minute someone expresses their point of view, they start telling you their politics and worldview. Even when someone states that they're not political, that in and of itself is a political statement.
Yeah.
Life isn't a rehearsal. As far as we know, this is the only shot we get, right here. Make it count. Don't fall in line, question authority, break the damn rules. And never say no to yourself. If you see a wonderful opportunity, but something inside you tells you not to pursue it because of your own insecurities about your own abilities, push that voice down and carry on. There are plenty of people who will say no to you. Don't ever, ever say no to yourself. You're gonna have so much fun. I started to say effing fun. And there'll be plenty of heartache too. The path of the artist is not for the delicate. There'll be temptations as well. As a friend of mine once told me when I started out, beware of the drug and alcohol trap, the money trap, and the romantic trap. I fell in a couple of them. I believe that we partially create out of the personal demons that we're trying to exercise. Those very same demons can create works of genius, but they can also be the things that lead to your self-destruction. Please be mindful and intentional in everything that you do. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it. Also remember that you're not competing with your friends. Be as happy and grateful for their success as you are about yours. There's enough room for everybody. We all travel in our own lanes and we all have different destinations. There's no way that you can see the future from the present. Be generous, be kind. When you get to the top, throw the ladder back down for everyone else to rise as well. This is not a competition. We are a collective, beloved community.
Yes.
I used to work in the late great Olympia Dukakis' theater company, and she once said to me that success and failure are the same thing. We just treat them differently. They are both placed in our lives to teach us things and help us grow. In fact, I would actually say that we learn more from failure than success. Because when we succeed at something, we don't really interrogate how that success came about. We pat ourselves in the back and we say to the world, "How you like me now?" However, when we fail at something, we rack our brains trying to figure out how we missed the mark, and more importantly, how did we not repeat our same mistakes? In surveying my own journey, I think that what gave me courage to fight and speak out and produce often provocative and controversial work while taking bold public stances is understanding the fact that the most that someone could take from me is my life. And we all will perish at some point. No one here gets out alive. So after I got cool with that idea, there wasn't any stopping my capacity to speak the truth. And the final thoughts that I'd like to leave you with is diversify your portfolio and take up space. There are two types of people, those who want to be something and those who want to do something. Many of us start out with dreams of being movie stars or rock stars and becoming rich and famous, and that will happen for some of us. But what happens to everyone else? If you want to make a career in the arts or anything else, but if you want to make a career in the arts for your entire life, you can do it. There are many opportunities and roles for everyone, and believe me, what you want today for yourselves may be very different than what you want at 40 years old. The best way to prepare yourselves for the future is to diversify your interests and your expertise. If you're an actor, also learn how to produce, direct, write, design, light, set, costume, sound, administrate, teach. If you're a dancer, learn how to choreograph, compose, produce, administrate, teach. By learning these skills, you'll make yourself employable and will never go hungry unless you want to.
Yeah.
Whatever kind of interest you're pursuing, learn everything in the field that you can. That's how you prepare for a life of service, by doing something. The world doesn't need any more people who are famous simply for being famous. We need your brains, your talents, your service. You're our next best hope. People like me and Brian are preparing to step back and let you take over. Be ready. And someone, somewhere, will see your efforts and reward them. Don't be a person who merely wants to be something. Do something. That's why servant leadership is so vitally important. It's fine to lead endeavors, but what is your leadership in service of? Who is your leadership in service of? Who, even if you lead from a back office, who are you serving and for what purpose? Once you can gain some clarity around that, you'll discover your path and you've found your compass. And lastly, unapologetically take up space in a room. James, right? James Baldwin once said, you have to decide who you are and force the world to deal with you, not their idea of you. When you enter a room, you're announcing yourself. You want to be seen. You want to be heard. You want your opinion to be valued. Hold yourself like a god and be confident in the beauty and value of your own humanity. This is particularly important for those of you who come from historically marginalized and disenfranchised communities and are consistently told that they are inferior. Women, BIPOC people, the LGBTQIA, disabled, youth, seniors, the economically disenfranchised. In the words of Goethe, be bold, and the mighty forces of the universe will come to your aid. In conclusion, I'll leave you with this quote from Hunter S. Thompson. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly proclaiming, wow, what a ride! Take up space, keep your dreams alive, the world awaits your brilliance. Congratulations, class of 23.